We're now going to look at visible viewport layers. Now what you can do is you can freeze layers in the current viewport. So at the moment, if we look at our desk detail, it's all a bit messy there. We've got various bits and pieces in the way. And notice as well, we've got our multi-leader there sitting on our DIMS layer. What I'm going to do there is change this. I'm going to go to the Home tab. I'm going to create a new layer called Leaders. Now the reason I'm putting the leaders on a separate layer is I can then freeze those leaders off if I need to. So I put leaders in there. I'm going to leave it red, that's fine. And I'm going to close the Layer Properties Manager. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on my leader there, and I'm going to change that to the leaders layer. So I've then got a separate layer for leaders as well. You'll notice, look, you can see the annotative leader appearing there with the room number R1. I'm going to hit Escape there now just to deselect that. I'm now going to go to the A3 Landscape tab, and I'm going to work now. In the general arrangement, we don't need to change anything. It all looks fine. Okay, we're going to go to the desk detail down here. So zoom in a bit so that you can see the whole viewport and some of the edge of the viewport. Double click inside the viewport, and what we're going to do now is go to the Layer Properties Manager palette. Now what I can do here is, you'll notice I can freeze layers. I've got the hatch layer frozen off at the moment. I'm going to unfreeze that one. I'm going to thaw it, and you'll see that the hatch layer has now appeared on the drawing there. I like the hatch layer. It can stay. That's fine. Okay, but we don't need it in this particular viewport. So what I'm going to do here now, I'm going to go across here, and you'll notice I've got various options across here. I've got this one here. If I just expand it out, it's called VP Freeze. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to freeze the hatch in the viewport. I'm also going to scroll down, and I'm going to freeze the walls in the viewport as well. Now what you'll notice is if I just make this auto hide for a second here, look now, you can see exactly what's going on. I've also got the building line there and the windows that need freezing, so I'll just un-auto hide that. The windows can be frozen in that viewport, and also if I scroll up, the building line can also be frozen, but only in that viewport. If I close the Layer Properties Manager now, I've got a perfect desk detail. It just shows the desk only and the dimensions for the desk. Isn't that good? So what I can do now is double click outside that viewport, and you'll see that that looks much tidier. If I just pan out slightly now, we can do the same here for the window detail. The door detail, nothing major there really. We need to leave the window in, but the furniture could go. So I can double click in this viewport, open up the Layer Properties Manager again, and it's the furniture layer that needs the VP Freeze. So what I'm going to do is find VP Freeze here. There's furniture there. So I VP Freeze the furniture there, close the Layer Properties Manager, and as you can see that looks much neater. The furniture's not getting in the way. Double click outside that viewport, pan upwards, and then all I've got to do now is lose the building line and the furniture and the hatch for this one. You'll notice the dimensions there have not been made annotative yet as well. So what we'll do, we'll look at that later on as we work in the next exercise.